Hi, this is Aaron, and I'm back. I've been gone for a while. I haven't uploaded a video in a while, and I've decided I'm going to start live streaming my work instead. That way I can show a lot more of my work without having to worry about editing it, which I just don't have time to do anymore. I've recently moved to a new office, so I'm here now, and I'm not fully set up, but it's good enough that I can start working. I don't have the proper camera here yet, so sorry about the quality of this video, but that will improve very soon. And I think I'm going to start live streaming as often as time permits. I'll do one job at a time per day. I won't do any more than one ever. And with live streaming comes a few problems. One is that I'm not really a natural talker. I'm a little bit awkward sometimes. Sometimes I don't know what to say, and sometimes I misspeak. So we'll have to deal with that now that I'm live streaming, and I just apologize for that in advance. Also, there's going to be some like dead time where I'm either just taking apart a phone or I'm letting it sit on the hot plate, and in those times, I don't really say much. So you can, pop in and out, and really just this stream is going to be, this series is going to be for technicians that just kind of want to see what my process is. A lot of people still think that data recovery is just like brute forcing CPU swaps, and just that's the cure all for data recovery, and my process very rarely needs that. I just do hard diagnosis, and I think that's the safer method to use. So that's what I'll be showing here. A lot of the time I'm going to kind of pretend you're not there because it's the easiest way for me to work. I'm just gonna talk out loud, or think out loud, I should say. So I'll be doing that. I actually did just mess up earlier. I thought I was already streaming and I was recording, and that was a bummer. I don't remember what I had said already, so there's going to be mistakes like that we're just going to have to get through. In fact, I should make sure that I am actually streaming properly this time, so let me check that. Bear with me. I don't expect anyone's really going to watch this stream, especially live, because let me check that. Yeah, it looks fine. I didn't announce it anywhere, and I did that on purpose because I'm not quite sure how everything's going to go yet, and I did make a mistake already, and I'll probably start announcing it actually like once I'm more in the groove of things and I feel more comfortable, because I'm probably going to be a little unsure of what to do at first. So this one, I think I'm just going to dive right into it. This is an iPhone 13 Pro. The customer wants data recovery. All of my jobs are basically always going to be data recovery at this point. I'm stepping away from general repair. I have friends I send that to. In general, I'm going to send that to Jesse from VCC Board Repairs for any type of like general repair. Yeah, just data recovery for now. So 13 Pro, customer wants data, and I haven't done anything yet other than take off the screen. And this was severely smashed. And my first step when I have these types of problems is to take my DC power supply and see what kind of amp draw I get when I prompt it to boot. And prompting to boot just means I'm pressing the power button, telling it to turn on. So I've already seen a little bit of sporadic behavior. So there we go. That's what I normally see. It's just a little bit of a spike. And normally that's going to indicate, to me, that shows I have some power rail short. And because this is severely smashed, it could well be the CPU. But it could be anything else as well. To me, that means I have a power rail short. So we'll see if that's correct or not as well. That's also the thing. So there's times where I'm unsure about what I'm going to do. There's times that I'm wrong. I test a lot of things. And I have an idea when I start, but I don't know exactly what's wrong. Also, there will be times where, like, I don't know what's wrong with this phone, and there will be times where, we start a stream and it turns out that it's a cracked CPU and there's nothing I can do about that, and unfortunately that's just where the stream's going to end. That's going to be unsuccessful. There will also be times where it's a lot easier than I expected, and that's also not great. So we'll see those types of problems, but in general, I'm just gonna try to work and try to let you guys watch if you want to. I expect there's just a few technicians that like to watch me to work, and you know, that's fine. So I'll take this motherboard out, and it's already mainly out, and let's test some power rails. I think the first and easiest to test is going to be the NAND power rails because they're on the top board, and the NAND rails sometimes short on severe drops, so that's something that's easy to check, so I will first. Also, I'll take a quick visual inspection. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. So there is some chance it could just be a NAND power rail. And that would actually be just fine with me. Just because there's also going to be times where I'm going to solve phones fairly quickly. And you know, my customers don't really care how quickly I solve them. In fact, they're happy like that. But there's other technicians that, especially like business to business technicians, they would get upset if they found out how easy it was to do some jobs. And it's not necessarily easy for anybody else. It's easy because I know exactly what I'm looking for. And if I can go straight to the problem, that's you know, that's just a reflection of my skill more than anything. And again, there will be times where I just don't say anything, so keep that in mind because I might just stop talking soon as well. And I'll try to read chat, but oh, you guys are here, cool. I'll try to read chat, but I'm not going to read it that much. Hi, iPhone service and Daryl. Cool to see you guys. I didn't think there'd be anybody watching, to tell you the truth, so that's cool to see. Thanks for watching. So there's going to be a few other things too, like I just do data recovery now, and the customers don't need these phones working, so I have a lot of destructive techniques that I'm going to use. And by destructive, I just mean like sometimes I'll take chips off the board and I just won't put them back, or I'll use a razor blade to remove capacitors because I don't need these phones working. So if you're doing repair, my techniques aren't always the best way. It's just the way I do it for data because, again, these boards don't need to work for me. I just need to get the data in the safest and most efficient way possible. So I know I have NAND power rails underneath this shield. That's what I'm doing now. I guess, sorry, I should say what I'm doing. I don't always remember to. I want to check power rails first. Like I want to check NAND power rails. I want to check PMIC outputs. I want to check RAM, and I want to check CPU. And the first and easiest thing to check is NAND power rails because they're right underneath here. There's some capacitors here. I'll show you that on my board view as well. I'm just going to remove like the underfill right here. I don't always, but it's better to. And then I just use wire cutters to remove this. And sometimes I knock a capacitor off. I usually don't mess up the glass IC right here. There is one, but sometimes it gets messed up. And again, you know, sorry if, if it's not your favorite way to see repairs. I'm a little destructive, as I said. And live streaming is a little nerve-wracking because you never know, like, if I mess up on camera, that's really embarrassing. I'm only doing it because I'm pretty confident in what I do, even to the point where, you know, I can show people. I'm going to switch cameras to big scope because I'm sure that's more of what people want to see. Hi, Victor. So try to keep it like this instead so you can actually see the work. This camera that I'm using now, it's eventually just going to be showing my my numbers up here, so my temperatures and my voltages and that stuff. And I have another camera that I'm going to be using for my face and just looking at the room and stuff. But for now, those numbers are probably just going to be a little small. I also might start, I was working without my Barlow lens for a while, and it was actually really nice. I might just start working without that. Sorry, this is really annoying. So things like this are going to happen too, where I just take forever to do something, so this underfill is super hard, and my platform keeps wanting to move. Honestly, that's good enough. I don't care. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this off. Now it's a little bit hot, so I'll have to wait a second. Just water. I always stay hydrated. Hi, eat more boric. I don't know how to say that. Maybe that's right. Again, if I mess up a capacitor, I don't really care. There's coils in this corner and there's a glass chip in this corner, so I try to avoid those, however. Stellar Cellular. Isn't that a Richard Martin? It's probably a different one. Okay, that was fine. So these capacitors up top will let me measure the NAND power rails. So I will take my multimeter and let's see if I can get this in a spot where you might be able to see it. You see that? You're not going to see it. Okay, when I have a different setup, you'll be able to see it. Now you're going to have to just listen for the beeps. What's up, Richard? It's good to see you, man. I'm embarrassed to be live streaming, to tell you the truth. I've never done it before. This is with the Barlow lens, by the way, yeah. But I was working without it for a while, and it was just so clear and nice that I kind of want to start doing that. Let me check which rails or which capacitors I'm looking at here. Let me pull it up first. So I'm looking at a 13 Pro. And here's one of them. Here's one of them. And I think that's the other one. Yeah, so these two, and then skip one, and then these two. So I'll just measure those. I don't really need to know what they are at this point. At this point, I'm just looking for the shorts. So there's a short. So it's showing me 0.01, which I don't usually see partial shorts when it's a capacitor's fault. So this might be a smashed PMIC, I'm thinking. This power rail is fine, and then skip one, and this one. This one's also short. So there's a chance I have a problem with NAND itself. I'll have to look on the side and see if it's cracked. Because two power rails are short. Let me check which one again. Oh, sorry, you're not looking at my... Dang it, I'm going to do that all the time too, where you're not looking at what I'm looking at. I'll try my best not to do it. But I was measuring, I'll just measure them again. Let's see. So this one, it's giving me 0.01 in diode mode. That's not good. This one is normal at 0.34. And then this one is just flat 0 all the way across. So let's see if we can see if NAND is cracked, because two power rails are not good. It's either going to be PMIC or NAND. I hope it's PMIC, because if it's NAND, it's not recoverable. I mean, I don't see any crack, but sometimes it's like at the very base. So I'm really don't want it to be cracked. So I'm just going to split this and let's check what the PMIC looks like. Let's also make sure, yeah, these all go to PMIC. So hopefully PMIC is correct. So I'll go ahead and grab my heating platform for the 13 Pro. I actually still use my 12 heating platform just because I like it and it works well, and it still fits well enough because it has the same notch. So for this one, it takes almost 10 minutes for it to heat up. So I guess I'm not going to try to fill that time with conversation. I'm just going to put the camera at the heating platform and step out of view probably. Read the comments maybe, I don't know. I don't have very many. Okay, so I set mine to about 225, I think, 226, something like that. And it takes about 10 minutes nearly for it to get to the proper temperature. And then I'll split the top board away. I'll bring that camera down to look at this as well. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. Let's see how if I can bring this in or not. I don't know if this will work or stay in focus. So at about 10 minutes, that's going to be ready to split. So I'll just be waiting for that. Thanks for stopping by, Richard. It was good talking to you, man. Hope your family's doing well. You guys are still here. Sorry, sorry, nothing's happening. It's gonna be like that sometimes. So the temperature right now is 196, so it's getting there. Yep, probably right on schedule for that 10 minutes. So I'll be back about that time. I have turned on my fume extractor, so I'm gonna have to just talk over it once I'm back because I don't like to obviously breathe any of these fumes. Also, sorry about the shakiness of this camera. At this new office, I'm on the second floor, and this camera specifically is strapped is on a desk that's a little shaky. So the main camera won't actually be that shaky. Okay, what temperature are we at? We're at 222, so yeah, we're right about there. Let's see. Try to fix this again. Yeah, this is ready to go. Okay, I should have just kept the camera where it was at. I don't know why I'm moving it so much. Yeah, this is ready to come up. And it's obvious to see we have some ripped pads. Let me make the scope big. Let me know if the sound is just too terrible to listen to as well. A lot of people overheat these 12 and 13 boards, but it's not that hard as long as you're just patient, and you don't even need heat from the top if your heating platform's good. But I know my top CPU board, there's no way that it was overheated because I used no heat from the top, and there's also no solder balls on the bottom. So there's no way that heat got all the way through the interposer and hurt the CPU. But I do have a ton of pulled pads, and that's going to be just because of the smashes, the impact. So I don't need this bottom board anymore. And again, this is also why I'm so like, or I guess like somewhat destructive in my techniques, is because these boards are already completely messed up. Hey Serge. I guess I'll turn on my sound. That should tell me. Oh no, I'm gonna hear myself. Let's see, what can I do? I want to hear when I have comments, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have like Facebook and other stuff going off. I actually have no idea if it makes a sound when there's a comment. I guess we'll see. Okay, first thing to check is CPU damaged. I can check some other power rails to see if CPU power rails are damaged. PMIC does not look damaged, which, you know, I really hope that the NAND chip is not damaged itself, because that will be a shame. Okay, quickly I'm going to check some of the power rails around the PMIC just to see if there's any other shorts on this board. And again, sorry I don't have my multimeter on camera. Once I have my other new equipment coming, it will be. When I'm checking power rails, basically any coil coming or by the PMIC is going to be an output, so I just basically check everything. Usually there's like little sections, like this coil will be this capacitor, this one will be this one. It's not exactly like that, but that's how it will kind of be. So this is, a lot of these are going to be low resistance lines, so they might beep. Like this one I believe is PPGPU, or I don't know which one is, but these ones are always pretty low. It doesn't look too bad so far. I think it's going to be fine. It's just NAND itself, it looks like. That's short, but I think that might be NAND. Let me check what that is. That was right here. Yeah, that was NAND. So I didn't check all of these, but I think only NAND seems to be a problem. So I don't see any obvious cracks. Again, like I said, I can dig out this underfill a bit to like really make sure. But I think what I'll just do instead is inject voltage into one of these power lines, and I'll see if I can find any heat anywhere. Oh, there's the crack. You guys see that? Does that show up? Yeah. Okay. So that's, let's see where we're at with this. That's so close. Can you guys see that? Oh man, I have no idea if it got NAND or not. Maybe it's just shorting these capacitors right here. If it's just shorting the capacitors, then it wouldn't have even needed to be split, which I think will be hilarious. Because I know this one in the corner shorts often. Okay. Also, I think I'm dumb. I don't think I needed to pull this. I'm pretty sure I have access to all the power rails right here. I just had to look them up. So I didn't really need to do that. But anyways, okay, I'll dig at this underfill and let's see if it looks cracked at the bottom. And then if not, then it's hopefully some of these capacitors. And we might be good to go. That would be great. I'm so glad like my mic wasn't muted or something, because that will sometimes maybe happen. This scope cam I have actually isn't that bad, but I actually did order an even better scope cam that will be coming. And then I ordered a PCIe capture card based on Jesse's recommendation, so I can use my my good camera. I forgot which one I have. It's 7 o'clock. I will be leaving soon, so hopefully we can find a conclusion to this. Normally I won't be streaming this late. I will probably, once I get into a good routine, like I said, I just moved to this office. I'm not fully set up or in a great routine yet, but once I am, I'll probably try to stream directly after lunch, which for me, I eat usually either from 1 or 2, or maybe even a little later sometimes. That specific time. So I'll stream after that usually. And I won't be every day, but if time permits. Oh, this is short. That's just, yeah, that's good. If time permits, I'll stream as often as I can, because like I said, I don't have to do any video editing here. It's not that hard for me to just turn on the camera and start working and let you guys watch. So I'll try to do that more often if you guys like it. Let me know if you guys want me to stream or not. Or if you like, I don't know, this is the easiest way for me to get out a lot of videos, so. But this cap right here definitely looks short, so I'll check what line this is. So this cap was this one. Again, I don't know what lines these are. We can very easily check by just like referencing the 12 board. So for example, I just need to remember that like this pattern here, and I can see on the 12 what it is. For example, if I go, excuse me, 12 Pro Max. Wrong board. 12 Pro Max, I can just remember that I had like 2 grounds on the end, and then there was 2 opposite, and this is 2 V6 2 NAND. So that's the voltage that runs through it. So that would be the same one, so 2 grounds and then opposite ends. I had those pads lit up. So yeah, this is my 2V6 line. I'm going to try to keep things in focus, but it might come out every once in a while. My range of focus is a bit higher than yours through the, like my eyepieces are better than the camera through the top. So again, let's see. So this line up in the corner is short right now. And this is full short. So once I remove that cap down there, this cap should also clear. I guess I'll try to every once in a while go over fundamental ideas, because some people don't realize that like if this cap is short, it's making this cap over here beep because they're on the same line. Everything's connected. So once I remove the shorted cap that's causing the entire line to be short, then the entire line is no longer short, obviously. That's an idea that a lot of people still don't quite get. It's not very complicated, but they just were never really taught. So now that that's gone, this one up here should no longer be short, hopefully. And it's not. That's great. So the other one that was still short was, I believe this one. This one. So this one's giving me the 0.01, and this line is what? I'm curious what this line is as well. I appreciate that, Serge. I guess I don't get any notification when people make comments because I didn't hear that. Maybe there's a setting for that. Okay, yeah, I'll try to keep streaming then. I think it's easier for me then as well. Yeah, okay, so let's see what this cap is short. It's got these 3 right here, so let's look on the 12. Where's the one? It should be like 3. There we go. So this is 1v2 IO. And actually, I believe the IO line powers RAM, the 1v2 IO. Is that true? Maybe not. 1v8. This one is probably RAM. That one, I've always been curious if this is RAM. I didn't ever know. And 1v, that one's RAM. Okay, so 1VO, whatever that line was, is not RAM. I'm pretty sure. 1v2 IO. So let's see where this one is short. It could, I mean, it's CPU, which is even worse. In fact, with that partial short, that's really scary because I mean, there's even all these little, God, this is not looking great, honestly. I don't like to see this line short. But the crack's right here. Let's look at the exact opposite side. Crack was right here. Is this where the CPU is as well? Because I really hope the CPU is not cracked or broken. And it definitely could have been damaged as well. It's likely. likely partially damaged in some way or another. It's not full short, which is great because sometimes you can just figure out a way to make it work long enough. Like the voltage may be good enough even with this partial short as it is. First, let me. I'm gonna inject into this line, and I'm gonna see if we can find any heat going anywhere. I guess actually, I'm just gonna prompt the phone to boot, and I'm gonna see what it looks like first. I have, at this point, still no idea if this one's going to be recoverable or not. But I've only got a few more minutes before I'm going to be leaving. So I may not finish it today. But I may. If I ever don't finish something, I'll come back the next day and finish it and then maybe do one more after that. But normally I'm not going to be this late, so it's probably not normally going to be an issue. I just short the power button to prompt it to boot right here. And unfortunately, there's nothing still. So before it was sometimes nothing, sometimes it was a little spike, but now it's just nothing. Okay, that's fine. I mean, let me try it one more time. Sometimes it's just that my cables were not, my probes were not making good contact. I am a little curious to see if it will go to recovery or DFU mode as well. It may. There's some chance. Okay, it's giving me almost a normal enough boot sequence. I didn't hold it long enough for it to finish the boot up. But even with that line partially short, there's a chance that it's only 1.2 volts. There's a chance it can just power through it, and it'll probably heat up a bit or a lot. And it may be good enough that I can just get it on temporarily and pull data. So I'll show you the reading on this just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Kind of small, sorry. Yeah, 0.01. So that's not fully short. Like fully ground looks like this, just flat zeros. But this is not normal either. But that amp draw, while it wasn't normal, it was like the phone was trying to boot anyway by just drawing a little bit of extra power, which is what I would expect a phone that has a partial short to do if it was booting. It would just draw a little bit of extra power. So I'm gonna grab some parts and I'll just see if it's booting or if it's showing me the Apple logo or what it's doing. And if it is booting up, I'm not going to leave it here alone because it's dangerous to do so. I will wait until tomorrow to actually pull the data from it. So let me grab some parts. 13 Pro, 13 Pro. 13 Pro. Okay, I'll grab some parts. I need to figure out my tool setup here too. I don't have the greatest setup. Let's go big face, small face deactivate. Okay. No matter what, this is likely going to be where I'm going to end it just because it's late today. But let's see what I'm working with here. Okay, Apple logo is good. And Apple logo is gone. And it's back. So if it goes away again, it's boot looping. And it's boot looping. So two things. I know which line is short. And I'm sure that's causing this problem right now. The only reason I'm getting an Apple logo at all is because it's not fully short. It's trying to turn on. It's probably just low or floating rather. Sorry, I heard somebody outside. So, couple of things. I guess I will come back and show you this tomorrow just because if you watch this, you would probably like a conclusion. I mean, if I watched it, I'd probably want to know what happened. So I'm thinking there's a few things that could happen. What I will probably do is inject voltage into the capacitor and try to see where it's going. There's a chance it's just a capacitor, and that would be best case scenario. There's a chance it's going to show heat at my NAND chip itself. Doesn't really look correct to me. There's a chance heat's going to not show up anywhere and it's going to be very vague. Or it could be at my PMIC or my CPU. I don't know. There's a chance that like this voltage is getting to like 0.8, just not 1.2, and I can supplement it somehow. So because there's so much I can still do on this, I'll come back to it. And I know if I just check another thing now, I'm just going to want to check another thing and another thing and another thing. And that's why I never stop working on these things. Why I'm good at data too. I just keep checking things. But yeah, there's a lot to check on here still. Like I don't call this dead yet. Some people might call this dead, and they say, you know, it's who knows. But I just listed all the things I could think of to check, and there's probably even more that I didn't quite think of right off the top of my head. So I'll check all of that tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow's Saturday, but I am quite behind on work, so I will probably show up still, so I have no idea at what time I will stream, but I'll probably try to stream the end of it. So thanks for watching. If you can, leave a comment and let me know if you liked the stream, if you want me to keep streaming, if you want to see something different. I want to interact with you a bit more now, so if you talk, I'm going to try to answer you. And if you want to see something specific, or if you want to know something I'm doing a certain way, let me know in the comments. If I will have my camera set up to see my temperatures and all that a little bit better later, so just keep in mind that things are going to get better. This is my very first stream, and I hope things are only going to improve. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.